I want to talk about gatekeepers. A lot of times, when you ascend to the position you want to be in life, there's going to be people standing in your way telling you who they think you are or ought to be. And the reality is, never assume people want the same things that you want. That's your first mistake. You could be trying to sell them a pear and then they'll want a mango. You know, it's incomparable, the priorities. My priority in Des Moines was education. Education. Being the best, uh, and being the best, pretty much. When you establish a goal like that, it's tunnel vision. And, if you get knocked off course, that's on you. Um, but there's certain people who, because the story didn't go the way they wanted it to go, they perceive that to be a slight or disrespect. Because when you're used to giving out gratitude, this is a hard pill for me to swallow, by the way. The game does not run on gratitude. It doesn't matter how grateful you are, how chummy you are with everybody. That shit does not mean a goddamn thing to the game. And I found that out the hard way. And, I'm never going to make that mistake again, moving forward. I also understand compassion and forgiveness is huge, but it's not always what you want it to be as well. So it's like what may look like a slight on the surface is actually just doing what's best for everybody, and and that just depends on what your vision is. Like, I made it crystal clear what my vision was from the get-go, and whoever wanted to listen was listening, but whoever zoned out for whatever reason, they're always gonna think I'm a perpetrator. Oh, this man's a perpetrator because he ain't taking the fast cash. Oh, this man's a perpetrator because he got a little something. I'm like, dog, you don't see the half of it. I'm not gonna try and change people's minds who was never really down for me in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my job. If you hate me, that means you love me, because it's the same fucking outcome. It's the same goddamn outcome. It's the Trump effect. Trump don't give a fuck because he's had hate thrown at him his entire fucking life. He loves it. He knows how to convert that shit into power. That's what that shit is. And man, rich people get away with fucking everything, man. Rich people and hot people get away with fucking murder. They get away with everything on the planet. And I don't think it's right. And I think this Western civilization is crumbling, rightfully so. There is a legitimate Western civilization, but it ain't in America. America, you are more or less a slave to the impulses of greedy opportunists, men and women. Um, when I go on misogynist rampages and shit, that's more or less, I'm not exclusively referring to females. I mean, it's just gotten to that point. Up is down, wet is dry, all that bullshit. But that's not the reality. It never is. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And when and it's like when you become a gatekeeper, more or less. Like, I always wanted to be the guy to put people on and put on the talent, but you realize that you're not the one doing it. The motivation is the talent has to match your effort and want to collaborate. That's what it is. It's like you have this naive vision of people who, yeah, they have potential in another life, in another realm. Because let me tell you something, man. We don't just have one life. YOLO, that's a bunch of bullshit. YOLO don't exist. We have multiple lifetimes within this one. I'm telling you, man. I know. I know this to be true. So, and like when you really think about that, that's the power of adaptation. That's the power of evolution. That's what humanity is about. We're supposed to be evolving, and I might just be a little ahead of the curve because negativity bias is so high now. I have a positivity bias. I assume that people learn and grow from their mistakes. I assume that we're no matter where you come from, even a business as slimy as stand-up comedy and show business is whole business. Um, Even in that world, I believe that redemption and you know and having something more is possible, and it's actually the reality. It's actually the reality, but we just perceive. But like due to our survival instincts and our protective mechanisms as people, we're the negativity bias is very high. Tribalism in America is ridiculous. It's off the charts. It's based on race, politics, gender, class more than anything. They don't want us talking about that. And so there's so many factors to why the people are divided, and it's because America doesn't have a real culture. We're a melting pot. And the older I get, man, the more I come to despise that. Like it's one thing if you're an individual and you're curious about other cultures. I'm very pro that. I'm pro taking the best from another civilization and bringing it back to your own. That's what humanity's about. But like when but like as much as I despise what Israel's doing, at the same time I understand why they wouldn't want Palestine. I understand why they wouldn't want anyone dirtying up their perfect little ethno state because it goes against everything they believe in, whether you agree with it or not. And I fucking don't. But I get it. So that's what it is, man. That's what tribalism is, and that's the fact. That's what the game is. So just know that going in, if you want to take risks, take chances, you absolutely should, but you have to know what it is you want. You have to know your goals, your strategies, and people are going to call you fucking perpetrator. They're going to call you this and that. They're allowed to do that. Guess what? And here's what's going to make them even madder is that you don't even have to fight back. They're going to be like, "Oh yeah, come at me. Yeah, come talk to me. Oh, you didn't talk to me, man." Like I've been in both positions. I've been in the position where I've been the guy that's like, "Oh, motherfuckers didn't come to me. Oh, woe is me." And that's bullshit. That's ego. I'm sure it's been the other way more times than not. You know? Um and it's just the way it is, dog. Like just enjoy your fucking life and enjoy the day, enjoy the air you breathe, enjoy the water, enjoy the fucking weather, hot, cold, indifferent. Because that's what's going to save you in the end. It's your connection to the oneness. It's your connection to yourself and nature. That's what's going to fucking brighten your day. That's what's going to guide you through even the lowliest valleys and obstacles. So that's my little ray of sunshine up your ass for today. This wasn't a comedy video. I really don't even give a fuck about comedy anymore, to be honest. I still do it, but the industry really made me wake up and be like, oh, this is exactly more or less what I expected. This sort of detached cynicism and just like keep building what you're building and don't even worry about any of that other shit, man. Fucking contracts and all this snake shit. I mean, like, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't care about your fucking clique. I don't care about your fucking group. You know, I'm a one-man show until I can put it together for my crew. I ain't up here saying I got it all figured out, because that would be a lie. And anybody who's saying that is a fucking lie. What I am saying is that I'm, compared to last year, compared to 6 months ago, compared to 3 months ago, shit, man. I mean, that's what it's about. When you can look back at yourself and be like, you know what, I evolved and I fucking grew from that. And that's what you're supposed to do. And fuck everybody who tells you different. That's my piece.